let's talk a little bit about Kevin Stefanski, because I think he's having a bit of a comeback year. He looked great obviously in that first year, and then after that it was kind of downhill from there. But I think he's coming back, and I think he's winning his way back into the hearts of the fans, and I think people are starting to recognize again and remember that he's a pretty talented guy at that head coaching position, and this is a contract year for him. So at the end of the season, the Browns are gonna have to make a choice. Are we rolling with Kevin Stefanski next year, or are we gonna blow it up? What do you think? Has he earned that extension?
Yeah, so I think he has. And what's interesting is I have a different perspective on him. I've always been underwhelmed by Stefanski, always. In 2020, I was very underwhelmed by him. I thought he came in there with a pretty good game plan, and he had some really great moments in play design, but I thought the team was overall talented, and it was a matter of him doing what he did in Minnesota, which was stop putting a square peg in a round hole. Put a round peg in a round hole, and it'll look a whole lot better than your predecessor. But it doesn't always mean you're maximizing the talent, and I didn't think he did. I thought he had major trouble with adjustments, and year after year, I kept seeing him have trouble with adjustments. So I've always been underwhelmed by him, thinking that I always thought he had a good set and a good head and good moments and good architectural offensive mind, but always felt that he wasn't going to be a good head coach till he learned how to adjust. And so I've always been underwhelmed. This year's the first time I've been impressed, and I've been continuously more and more impressed throughout the year because time and time again, he's learned to adjust, and he's been getting better at adjusting. And this game, he adjusted in-game. I cannot remember a single game in the Stefanski era where the offense looked lost in the first half and looked good in the second half. Do not remember it, ever. And it happened, and he did it by simplifying the offense for Deshaun. Look, unfortunately, Deshaun just had a little trouble reading defenses. And hopefully at some point he can get some of that back. I think he's always struggled a bit with it, but he was still a little bit better with the Texans with that. But he's struggling with it. At the end of the day, you have what you have. And at a certain point, you can't always run the offense you want to run. Sometimes you have to run what you got for your personnel. In the second half, he shortened it a lot. And he played I think he called a little different game to play to Deshaun Watson's strengths, where it was more, run and then look, stay on your feet, look for open guys, quick reads. If not, move, buy time, pick up a couple yards if you need to. Look for your dump-off guy, though, who might become available because they have to react to your run threat. And just simplifying the offense a little bit so Deshaun could play within himself. He did, and they just didn't make mistakes and just kept the offense moving, and it worked out really well. I think that's just shown tremendous growth. And what I was looking for from Stefanski this year was real tangible growth. And he's really shown it, and his ability to grow this year in adjustments, and especially in adjustments without tackles. We're missing two of our starting tackles right now. We're missing our starting running back, our stud starting running back. And he's made these adjustments. To me, I think he has earned a contract extension.
Yeah, I think the most impressive thing from him has been adjustments. Not just like the in-game adjustments, which is kind of a newer thing for him, adjusting game to game, improving things, adjusting his game plan more to the players. I think the most impressive thing from the Browns has been his ability to overcome the injuries. Deshaun Watson was out. Yes, PJ Walker wasn't great and everything like that, but the Browns were competitive in some of those games when, with a player of PJ Walker's caliber, they probably shouldn't have been, and they even won some of them, right? That's really impressive. As you said, we're missing Nick Chubb, star running back. Not so easy to recover from that. They made it work. We're missing two of our starting offensive linemen, and one of those starting offensive linemen was already the backup. Right? DeJuan Jones was already the backup for our starter, all-pro right tackle, who was out, didn't miss a beat. DeJuan Jones comes in, performs immediately. DeJuan Jones comes out. I don't even remember who came in for him. Oh, James Huntsett came in for him. I don't remember who's the left tackle. We had a new guy at left tackle. We look fine. With two of our starters missing from our offensive line, and having a backup running back in to still play like a great running team is incredibly impressive. We don't really have that many weapons in the receiving game, like outside of Amari Cooper, like in the wide receiver group. Like I said, we had issues at quarterback when it comes to injuries, and he's overcome them. And the team has shown the Browns have looked like a team, and this is what you really see from those great teams, that just because a dude is missing doesn't seem to have that much of an effect on whether or not they're going to be competitive. They have had their games where they got destroyed, but for the most part, whoever's been out, for however long they've been out, the team has still managed to stay competitive. And I think that's what's so impressive for me, and that's why I think Kevin Stefanski has earned his contract extension, at least through this year. the Browns look like a playoff team again, that's obviously going to help them. You're not going to fire a coach if you make the playoffs, especially if they, well, you could technically, but they probably won't, especially if they win that first game. So I think Kevin Stefanski has absolutely earned his contract extension. I'm curious to see how long they're going to give him, like 2, 3, 4 years. I don't know. How long do you think they're going to give him an extension for?
Probably 3 years.
Probably 3 years. That's probably what I would have it. I would probably have it like 3 years with some kind of an opt out kind of situation at 2 years where you can, get out of his salary. That would be nice.